Really, honestly, I do not know what to say. You match your painting.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah.
I said the only thing missing from that painting is the purple in your shirt. It's really standing out.
Yeah, yeah. Good, man.
But when I, God,
This was no accident.
this is no accident.
No. I thought, well, I want to make it colorful, you know.
We're gonna have to put some different paintings up because these are.
We've never had this one up.
I know. I didn't say that.
Huh.
But you've got so many other different ones.
Yeah.
I'll pick the next one.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. I have, you know, some that, like when I was starting, they look very Monet-ish, you know, or like Renoir and his garden. You know, I did some gardens. And,
Oh, you got some beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the
It's
name.
one a plant,
one in
and everything just kind of evolved to where it is now.
Well, it keeps evolving.
It does, if I try, and I have tried to go back and just do something, you know, and it just doesn't work that way.
You get stick men, don't you?
Huh?
You get stick men.
Yeah, a little stick man. That's about it. You know, and one of these days I'll be able to, you know, draw a tree or paint a tree.
Well, I was reading several articles, and it's really interesting. When you guys put out the live record,
Yeah.
I mean, either people didn't like it at all and thought it was terrible, or they thought it was better than the Layla record.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I wonder why in the world they could be so completely different, diametric opposites.
It's just, you know, you can't please everybody, you know. And so
I know.
it's a good thing we're
you know,
just pleasing ourselves.
There weren't a lot of write-ups. There weren't a lot of write-ups on that record, and so there was like that I could see 2, maybe 3, and one guy was completely one way and one was completely the other way.
Yeah, you know, ain't no accounting for taste, you know. But some people wanted Eric to still be doing the stuff he was doing in Cream and
They talked about that a lot.
locked off
yes.
into that moment, you know. I love parenthetical moments because that really emphasizes it. And then his career has been a series of those. Some of them not so.
Well, at the point where it finally ended, he couldn't stand it anymore. You know, he did not like it.
Yeah.
Cream, he wasn't enjoying it.
No, and they were fighting it out. You know, I mean, they traveled separately and, you know, just showed up for the gigs, and that was it. You know, no camaraderie or anything. Maybe when they started off, you know. But this is what I know. You know, what I was told.
Well, did you ever have any opportunity to hang out with those guys at all?
No. Even Ginger Baker came by the session, All Things, and he was on part of it, you know, the jams, but not so. And when we opened up for Blind Faith, you know, there was a couple of opportunities or times that, you know, we were all on the same bus together. Right. And he was just an angry person, it seemed, you know.
Strange that he and Jim both were like
yeah, he seemed to be. But then I found out about all the drugs he was doing, and that make you uncomfortable too, you know.
Right. Funnily enough, too, one of these articles mentions that Delaney had played on All Things Must Pass.
Yeah, you know, George wouldn't have him there. You know, he said he'd try to take over. That's why he didn't have him on All Things Must Pass record. You know, Delaney left a long-lasting impression with everyone. You know, everyone.
You put that in a very nice way. You know? I think that's probably a good thing. But yes.
You know, that was it. You know, his mark was made in everything that he was involved in. Delaney, I'm speaking of. You know, and people wanted it to be that way, you know. Just a bit here, a bit there.
Right.
You know.
But he was definitely not on All Things Must Pass.
Oh, hell no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't anywhere. He wasn't in the country, you know. You know, and he just showed up at Santa Monica Civic when we were playing with the Dominoes. It wasn't like we called to ask him, hey man, come and sit in with us. It was like, oh shit, here comes Delaney with a guitar in his hand. And we were like, oh man, it was a drudgery.
Was it for the whole show?
I think he got up and sat in with us and did a couple of numbers. I don't remember.
But he must have
we
showed
were
up.
so focused in doing what we were doing that it was really hard to accommodate anybody. Even when like B.B. King and people like that got up and played with us, they just had to find their way. We didn't like try to contour anything around them, you know, to showcase them. It was like we were pretty much locked into what we were doing.
So were you there and left immediately right after at the Civic Center?
Yeah. Because we were on tour, so was not a lot of hanging out. No. Unfortunately, you know, there was not everything was about Delaney was good. You know, unfortunately, you know, he left a bad musical taste, and on top of the appreciation of him and his incredible genius and ability, there was like this other part that it kept you from going over here to deal with this wonder, this other part that was a little more dark, that was difficult to deal with, you know. And so rather than having to go through something like that to share in this beauty, you know, most people elected to not do that again, you know, to go down that road again. And I understand. I was the first friend. I started out with Delaney, Bonnie, and me. When he was playing acoustic guitar and Bonnie and I were just singing backgrounds.
He wouldn't let you play guitar.
No, hell no. He missed out because I'm a good rhythm guitar player. But I didn't mind. It was his call, you know. But I was there from then until the very end when everybody bailed out like lemmings to the sea after the European tour. I stayed with them and did 2 more records, 2 more albums.
The European tour, how long was that?
About that long.
Well, it was about 2 weeks, actually.
Yeah, outside 2 weeks, you know. And some of it they wouldn't even air for years and years and years, decades. They wouldn't air.
Well, they contacted us, and it was a Swedish company, and they said everybody looked too high. And they wouldn't do it, so they canned it.
They were right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were right. You know, and then it took enough time to pass for all that to be okay, you know. A part of that was just a part. That wasn't who we were. You know, the drugs and alcohol. That's not who I was. You know.
Right.
That was something I was going through. That wasn't me. You know, that wasn't me at all. You know, even though I was partaking, that was not me. You know, the true me.
Do you find it difficult to listen to yourself when you were using?
Yeah. Well, because I remember on some of it, like on even beautiful songs like "Dreams of a Hobo," and then "Thorn Tree." You know, it was amazing to hear things that only I know. You know, no one's ever asked me this question. But there's things that I hear it and I go, God, man, I wish that I hadn't been doing that blow when I did this beautiful, beautiful song. You know, I felt it. I didn't need any outside influence to give me any kind of emotion or feeling about Thorn Tree in the Garden or Dreams of a Hobo. You know, what I didn't know until I found out, you know. Till I was enlightened, and then I wasn't in the dark of ignorance anymore, you know. And
well, say take drugs and alcohol out of it. Are there songs that you listen to now from your past that you can't stand to listen to?
Not really. not really, because they were all like little stories or glimpses of a part of my life. Each, in my short, inexperienced life, those were like, it was like reads like a book to me anyway. Because all of those, and there were just growing. I tried everything. I tried, it was even a song called "Sweet Mother's Fun on Capricorn," Then like with I had the Mexican horns, Baby, won't you come down? Spend a little time with me on the far side of town. We'll drink some tequila, and then a while I'll have you under my spell, and you see why I'm smiling. I mean, stuff like that. I would just try anything, because suddenly I had my creative wings were spread, and I could.
Well, did you make good use of it, or
I did. I was flying everywhere. I was. Yeah.